Extraterrestrials and UFOs are real. This is what Lockheed CEO BenRich declared on his deathbed. Please see the video just before this one concerning the black budget's anti-gravity craft that we're not supposed to know about and what he showed us, what he revealed to us concerning Solar Warden. He says, we already have the technology to take ET home. Now, BenRich, Lockheed Stockworks CEO, had admitted on his deathbed confession that extraterrestrial UFO visitors are real and that the U.S. military travel among the stars already. Now, we will be having a UFO disclosure June 1st from the Department of Defense, according to John Ratcliffe, and he will also come and comment on that after that disclosure is made. So we'll see what that will bring to light. Now, according to BenRich, CEO of Lockheed Skunk Works, according to article published back in May of 2010, issue of the MUFON UFO Journal, BenRich, the father of the stealth fighter bomber and former head of Lockheed Skunk Works, had once let out information about extraterrestrial UFO visitors, saying they're real and U.S. military travel to the stars. So, okay, in other words, he's agreeing to what the former Defense Minister of Canada, Paul Hellyer, has been disclosing all these years. That ETs are among us, and some of them look like humans. They could be walking right next to us, and we wouldn't even know that they were extraterrestrial. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Now, what he said might be new to many people today, but he revealed the information before his death back in January 1995. His statements help to give credence to reports that the U.S. military has been flying vehicles that mimic alien craft. The article was written by Tom Keller, an aerospace engineer who has worked as a computer system analyst for NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. 1. Inside the Skunk Works, Lockheed's secret research and development entity, we were a small, intensely cohesive group consisting of about 50 veteran engineers and designers and 100 or so expert machinists and shop workers. Our forte was building technologically advanced airplanes of small number and of high class for highly secret missions. 2. We already have the means to travel among the stars, but these technologies are locked up in black projects, and it would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity. Anything you can imagine, we already know how to do. Isn't that, look at this, what he said. It would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity. In other words, they know it could benefit humanity, and they're keeping the technology hidden anyway. That is really, really selfish. Now, 3, we now have the technology to take ET home. No, it wouldn't take someone's lifetime to do it. There is an error in the equations. We know what it is. We now have the capability to travel to the stars. First, you have to understand that we will not get to the stars using chemical propulsion. Second, we have to devise a new propulsion technology, and what we have to do is find out where Einstein went wrong. 4, when Rich was asked how UFO propulsion worked, he said, "Let me ask you, how does ESP work?" The questioner responded with, "All points in time and space are connected." Rich then said, "That's how it works." BenRich, Lockheed former CEO, knew of extraterrestrial UFO visitors. Now, the Skunk Works Lockheed former CEO knew the Roswell extraterrestrial UFO influenced designs of tester model kits for Roswell UFO models and U.S. top secret aircraft. According to CNI news report by Colorado resident Michael Lindemann, the design information was derived from forensic illustrations and numerous witness testimonies about the Roswell UFO provided by William L. Bill McDonald. In an email dated July 29, 1999, apparently addressed to Lindemann, MacDonald referenced an excerpt of a discussion with Harold Puthoff, founder of the highly classified U.S. remote viewing program. MacDonald said, "Well, Hal, you asked for it. Now that legendary Lockheed engineer and chief model kit designer for the Tesla Corporation, John Andrews, is dead, I can announce that he personally confirmed the design connection between the Roswell spacecraft and the Lockheed Martin Unmanned Combat Air Vehicles, UCAVs, spy planes, joint strike fighters, and space shuttles." Andrews was a close personal friend of Skunkworks CEO BenRich, the hand-picked successor of Skunkworks founder Kelly Johnson, and the man famous for the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter, its half-pint prototype, the Half Blue, and the top-secret F-19 stealth interceptor. And before Rich died of cancer, Andrews took my questions to him. Dr. Ben R. Rich, former Lockheed Skunkworks CEO, confirmed. 1. There are two types of UFOs, the ones we build and the ones they built. But we learned from both crash retrievals and actual hand-me-downs. The government knew and until 1969 took an active hand in the administration of that information. After a 1969 Nixon purge, administration was handled by an international board of directors in the private sector. 2. Nearly all biomorphic aerospace designs were inspired by the Roswell spacecraft, from Kelly's SR-71 Blackbird onward to today's drones, UCAVs, and aerospace craft. 3. It was BenRich's opinion that the public should not be told about UFOs and extraterrestrials. He believed they could not handle the truth ever. Only in the last months of his decline did he begin to feel that the International Corporate Board of Directors dealing with this subject could represent a bigger problem to citizens' personal freedoms under the United States Constitution than the presence of off-world visitors themselves. Lindemann added that Bill MacDonald received the above information from Andrews from 1994 until the last phone call near Christmas of 1998. Lindemann also said, "It should also be known that Dr. BenRich attended a public aerospace designers and engineers conference in 1993 before his illness overwhelmed him, in which he stated, in the presence of MUFON Orange County Section Director Jan Harzen and many others, that, quote, we, hence the U.S. aerospace community military-industrial complex, had in its possession the technology to take us to the stars, end quote." And you can see the complete letter in the May 2010 MUFON UFO Journal from John Andrews and the handwritten reply from Dr. BenRich. And here more revealing testimony from Disclosure Project whistleblowers. NASA cannot deny secrets uncovered by UK hacker Gary McKinnon and many astronauts if it expects full funding from, if it had expected funding from Obama White House administration. Now, Lockheed Skunkworks engineer, U.S. Air Force and CIA contractor admitted UFOs are real. Don Phillips, these UFOs were huge and they would just come to stop and do a 60-degree, 45-degree, 10-degree turn and then immediately reverse this action. During the Apollo landing, Neil Armstrong says, "They're here. They are right over there and looking at the size of those ships. It's obvious they don't like us being here," end quote. That's what Neil Armstrong said about their flight to the moon. When I was working with Skunkworks, with Kelly Johnson, we signed an agreement with the government to keep very quiet about this. Anti-gravitational research was going on. We know that there were some captured craft from 1947 in Roswell. They were real. And yes, we really did get some technology from them. And yes, we really did put it to work. We knew each other from what we call an unseen industry. We can term it black, deep black, or hidden. The knowledge I have of these technologies came from the craft that that were captured here. I didn't see the craft, nor did I see the bodies, but I certainly know some of the people that did. There was no question that there were beings from outside this planet. Are these ET people hostile? Well, if they were hostile with their weaponry, they could have destroyed us a long time ago. We got these things that are handhold scanners that scan the body and determine what the condition is. We can also treat from the same scanner. I can tell you personally that we've been working on that, and we have ones that can diagnose and cure cancer. Isn't that really a big farce that BenRich is talking about these things that can cure cancer, and he died of cancer himself? Anyway, going on with this, BenRich said, one of the purposes I found for funding, I had for founding my technology corporation in 1998 was to bring forth these technologies that can clean the air, that can help get rid of the toxins, and help reduce the need for so much fuel, fossil fuel. Yes, it's time. I can tell you personally that it has already started. Now, Wikipedia says Ben Robert Rich, June 18, 1925 to January 5th, 1975. So he was about 70 plus years old when he died, a little less than 70 years old when he passed away. He was the second director of Lockheed Skunk Works from 1975 to 1991, succeeding its founder, Kelly Johnson, and regarded as the father of the stealth. BenRich was responsible for leading and developing the F-117, the first production stealth aircraft, and he also worked on F-104, the U-2, the SR-71, the 812, and the F-22, among others, many of which are still classified. Another stealth worker admits ET UFOs. Dr. Don Phillips. Don Phillips, a U.S. Air Force CIA contractor, December 2000, was in the Air Force Las Vegas Air Force Base during an event when UFOs were seen moving at enormous speeds near Mount Charleston, northwest of Las Vegas. In addition, he worked with Kelly Johnson at the Lockheed Skunk Works on design and construction of the U-2 and the SR-71 Blackbird. He testifies that we do not only have these extraterrestrial devices, but we have also achieved tremendous technological advances from their study. In other words, back engineering. He states that in the 1950s and 60s, NATO did research into the origin of ET races and disseminated reports to the leaders of various countries. Mr. Phillips' father states that there are records and film documentation of meetings in California in 1954 between ETs and leaders of the U.S. He lists a few of the technologies we were able to develop because of the ETs, such as computer chips, lasers, night vision, bulletproof vests, and concludes, are these ET people hostile? Well, if they were hostile, with their weaponry, they could have destroyed us a long time ago or could have done some damage. Mr. Phillips now develops technologies that can help eliminate, these are very small, tiny letters here, that can help eliminate environmental pollutants and reduce the need for fossil fuels, energy generation systems that use natural energies from planet Earth. Well, where is it? We need it yesterday. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. This is On Bended Reality.